All right. Next up is Anime Dartboard. Normally I create a creative intro for this, but I didn't even halfway think of one. So it is a show where we talk about how much I want to fuck anime girls.
Hell yeah. Don't we all?
All right, moving on. Kado, the right answer. John, what did you think of Kado, the right answer?
I watched it about a month and a half ago and I hated it.
I
So somebody owes you
imagined, yeah,
$5.
I was
Yeah.
watching this and I'm like, man, an entire anime about science and having a dialogue and negotiating with an alien with almost no action whatsoever.
Yeah.
John must hate this show. I think I actually posted in the Discord
You did, yeah. So I believe you said somebody
that I
owes you
thought you
five
wouldn't even
dollars.
finish it.
I did. I didn't like it, but I did.
Yes.
Yeah, $10 if John hated this, yes. On score
Yes.
one.
Uh
And boy did I ever.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way John likes this fucking show. I'm trying to remember what I gave it. I don't think I gave it a very high score either. It wasn't very good. Did you watch the prequel
No.
to it? The one you didn't really miss much. It was the main character deciding to like save a factory, and that's why there's like a picture of him with a bunch of factory workers at the start of it. So that's really all you missed. Yeah. So, none of the characters in this are interesting.
No.
The romance isn't set up properly and comes the fuck out of
Stupid.
nowhere. What I will say is, I thought the 3D actually worked for the show, aesthetically. I was skeptical. I thought it would look like shit, but it actually kind of worked.
Yeah, I'll give it that much, yeah.
The main villain being a villain was obvious from word go. I don't know how anyone would have been surprised. And when this dude comes in and is like, I want to edit the human brain, everyone should have immediately been like, no. No, baby, we don't do that.
We can't do that here.
Yes. Then at the end, there's the dumb fight scene, which is dumb.
Mhm.
I thought the negotiation parts were kind of fun. I enjoyed the dialogue. What my issue with this show is that it's kind of stupid. So like,
Kinda.
it's pretty stupid. Yeah. So
Pretty stupid.
for my issues with this show are all science related. So I want to get this word right? I believe it is antitropic. Yeah, antitropic, right? So he claims he's not from a higher dimension. He claims he's from an antitropic, right? Is that
Mhm.
correct? Am I fucking out of my... No.
I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah, I think anitropic, right? It's a word I've never needed to use before. Repeated and reversed symmetrically. Whatever. It is basically, he claims he is from the idea of something that measures differently depending on the way you're taking the measurement, is essentially the idea. Antistropic, I've never needed this word in my life. I had to look it up, I'm not gonna lie. But like, the problem with the show is he's like, I'm not from a higher dimension, but like, he's from a higher fucking dimension, because when they explain how information is stored and like where he's from, they just explain the concept of higher dimensional space. So when someone's like, you're from a higher dimension, right? He's like, no, fuck you. I'm from this obscure math term that doesn't make any sense. Just say he's from a higher dimension. Why are you trying to like, this screams like a show that's trying to make itself seem smart without actually being smart.
Yeah, that's a lot of those.
They literally just explain the concept of higher dimensionality, and it like drove me crazy because when he explained where he was from, my brain was like, oh, this dude's from a higher dimension, that's kind of cool. And then he's like, no, I'm not from that. And I'm like, fuck you, yes you are. They just like can like go through that the whole time, and then you find out the girl is also from a higher dimension, right? And so she has a baby with the main character. And then their daughter is from a higher dimension than the main villain. But, like, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, they explain that humanity has, like, basically infinite potential. So if the explanation was that, like, Yuri was from had the same level of dimensionality as the main villain and her mom, but also the infinite potential of humanity, and also more experience in living in Earth, so she had a better control over like Earth and the universe, that would be totally valid. But they explain that she's from a higher dimension even than the main antagonist, which I want you to explain to me how a dot and a fucking cube fucked to make some kind of like 12-dimensional entity, because that's not how space works. Show.
Not.
And then at the end, when the main villain leaves, the WOM and the Sansa quit working. Why do the WOM and the Sansa quit working? Because if we assume the like WOM use the antitropic to pull energy from higher dimensional space, which I'm pretty sure he explicitly said is not how the fucking WOM works. But if we assume that is how the WOM works, then the WOM not working makes sense, I guess. But the idea about the Sansa is that it physically edits the physiology of the human brain so that humans are able to perceive higher dimensional space, which is why they don't need to sleep. The show doesn't know what a dimension is, very clearly, especially because humans are explicitly stated to be three-dimensional creatures, and yet somehow, according to, like, Navino or whatever, the main antagonist, humans exist in more than 3 dimensions, and this allows them to access that, so unless they're talking about time, I have no goddamn idea how 3-dimensional entities are suddenly able to expand their consciousness to multi-dimensions when they are very explicitly stated to be solely 3-dimensional entities. It makes no sense. And if it is time, the show doesn't address time at any point. It just talks about space. So, like, how the fuck do the Sansa work? And more importantly, when he leaves, if it is a physical change in the physiology of the human brain, as it's explained, when the fucking Kado leaves, which is like the big dumb cube, right? Why does the Sansa stop working? It's not like the human brain is tied to the function of this dumb cube.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh, I gave it a 5 apparently. So I guess I liked the like negotiation aspect enough. But yeah, this I one of my pet peeves is when a dumb show like throws out a bunch of like complicated terms that the creators don't understand to try and make itself seem smart. Like, if you're stupid, just fucking be stupid and embrace it, right? Don't try and make yourself up as like the prettiest pig at the pageant. Anything to add to Kado?
No.
No. Okay.
It's still not the worst one, but it's definitely a 4.
It's not the worst one. I agree with you.
But I finished it, so that's good.
That you finished it. That's how we know it's not the worst. No, Taboo Tattoo is absolutely atrocious. Let's see. All right, dartboard. Here we go. We got that new tech going.
New tech?
All right, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shuffle. 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 Big money, no whammies.
Whammy.
Don't give us a... Why would you want a whammy?
We always get a whammy.
Okay, we almost got critically acclaimed series Kino Tabi, but instead we got Frag Time. And what's important about that is Kinotabi is critically well received, and I don't know what the fuck Frag Time is. Frag Time is a movie by Tier Studio. Its tags are girls love, romance, sci-fi, and slice of life. It has a duration of 1 hour.
Oh, that'll be easy.
Misuzu Moritani is an introvert who has always had difficulty interacting with her classmates, quickly becoming flustered whenever someone tries to talk to her. Sometimes she will use her ability to stop time for 3 minutes to escape troublesome social situations. One day, as Misuzu watches the suspended environment around her, she observes that her classmate Haruka Murakami is somehow able to move despite her temporal influence. From that moment on, Misuzu experiences new wonders as she explores more of the world she has long avoided. No matter where time may take her, Misuzu can count on Haruka to always be at her side. Well, there you go, then. That sounds like the setup to a porn. Huh?
What the fuck do I even watch this?
Who fucking knows? Crunchyroll with a VPN. Anyway.
This was released in 2019.
2019 show. Oh, shit. Why did my coffee cup get stuck to my coaster? Alright.
That happens.
We'll worry about it later. Anyway, how's Frag Time? What do you think about Frag Time, John?
We'll see. It's only an hour long, so that's not that bad.
Only an hour long, nice lesbian romance about stopping time, purely in a non-sexual way. I think, yeah, it's rated PG-13. Nothing more embarrassing than accidentally putting porn up on Dartboard. Anyway, yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm not even going to say skeptically. I'm optimistic. I think this could be a good, fun time. We'll see how it ends. Romances are made by their ending. If you botch your romance ending, you've botched your romance.
It's 50-50 for me.
It's at 6.5, so it's also a coin flip, as we call it. So sometimes we get heads and sometimes we get tails.